Good afternoon, members of the Dynasty and of the League. This is going to be a cross-promotional video. I don't have my usual setup in the car or at school, so I'm on my nose cam here. The reason why this is for both videos, talked with the other three cross members, the three other guys that are members of both leagues, and I came up with what I thought would be an interesting topic. So Durs, Ferg, and Mostrom all gave some input on this, some more than others. But if you get mad, just get mad at Ferguson. Like, if you don't like anything that's commented here, I think he contributed the most. So direct all your hate mail towards him. But what I decided to do, and then with the help of the other three members, we came up with this list. I decided to figure out who everyone's doppelganger was from the other league. Now, some of these are, skill-based, roster construction, what you've done in this league so far. Some of them are attitude-based. And I think for all 12 guys in either league, we came up with a good representation of someone from the other league that represents their team best. I'll start with some of the no-brainers, and I guess this isn't really all on the same scale. I'll save the scathing reviews towards the end. So the longer you don't hear your name, the worse your report is going to be. So 1 and 2, I'm going to go with, we'll start with number 1. So myself in D1, the Tampa Bay Hurricanes. My doppelganger from D2 is Mike Mostrom, 40-yard dash, or Chicago Dictators. I can't remember. Obviously, the main connection here, we are both the commissioners of the respective leagues. We both won the first year of the league. We both came close this past year. We both had, arguably one of the best teams. But my D1 team and Mike's D2 team are doppelgangers. Along those same lines, Mike's D1 team, he is the Los Angeles Outlaws, and my D2 team, the Cleveland Steamers, are doppelgangers. First, along the same lines of what I said before, we are both the co-commissioners, or the vice commissioners. We're the guys that bring the best ideas to the league besides the commissioner. And maybe I would argue that I bring more good ideas to D2. But anyway, semantics. And the other thing we have in common, neither one of us have really won anything. We came close this past year. I was 1 yard away in D2 from winning, and Mike made the championship game in D1. So we both came really, really close to winning it all this past year. Next up, from D1, we have Reitzma, the Miami Mayhem. His D2 doppelganger is Jared Vonk. And, the Calgary Cocksuckers. Calgary Cockfighters. Some of the roster construction looks really, really similar. They both drafted Brandon Cooks when there were better options available, in my opinion, and I feel justified in my opinion there. Neither has really won anything. Reitzman's had good teams, hasn't won anything. Jared, I guess you did win your division this year if you want to count that as something. And I think that both of these teams are good bets to make the playoffs in 2015. Probably Reitzman a little bit more than Jared, but I think Jared gets the 6th seed. I'll have to fight noobs for it. Up next, D1, we got Rob Adams with Jaquiz My Pants. And D2, we have Andy with Unnecessary Fisting. Very similar to the last couple. They both have the same sophomore wide receiver. They both have Odell Beckham Jr. They're young for the most part. And they both got pretty good teams going forward in my estimation. So not necessarily the best teams, although Rob did win the championship. But, just below the top tier in either league. we'll stick with Andy. So Andy in D1. Oh, he's not unnecessary fisting in the other league. Oh, I screwed it up. He's El Matador. So in D1, what did he change his name to? In D1, crap. We're doing it live. Whatever his D1 team name is. I'm matching him up with Doug Mostrom from D2, and he is the Midland Mastodons. One of my favorite logos. Proud of that one. And the reason why I put them together, they both have good, solid teams right now. They don't have a ton of great long-term contracts, and they're very shallow. So if they want to win, they better win soon, because their window of opportunity, I think, is going to be the next couple years at best for each team. Next up, we've got Chris, the Rio Grande Revolution. Oh, Andy is the San Antonio Admirals after David Robinson. Uh-oh. We might have a guest appearance. Go lay down, please, Jordy. Because you have to take a nap. I don't care if you still have your dress on, but go lay down. And shut the door, please. Because I'm going to watch something in a minute. I love you. Gotta love live TV. So where was I? Oh, so Chris, the Rio Grande Revolution in D1, his doppelganger is the strong baddie of cheats, Roger W. Tiller from D2. And how they match up, neither has really won anything whatsoever. No division titles, no money won, no playoff victories, nothing. And outside of the two commissioners in each league, they're with apologies to Lori Nuberta, they're arguably the most boisterous. They give their opinion the most. They bring the most to the league. So they're doppelgangers. Doug Vandenberg from D1, the Austin Masonites. His D2 doppelganger is the Dutch Oven, Scott Verkake. Verkake? Whatever his team name is. I don't want to pull the trigger on any trades. And the reason why I put them together, they're both pretty quiet. Scott is one of the more unknown quantities, at least in terms of opinion, in the league, and maybe that's a slap in the face. I don't know. Doug in D1 is always one of the last two to vote on anything. He's not going to see this video because he's not on Facebook. Maybe he follows me on YouTube. I don't know. So, like, I don't really know where they get their knowledge, but they've both been pretty successful. More successful than they've probably been given credit for. Now, Scott is the reigning champ in D2. Doug finally had his first losing season this past year over in D1. So, I put them together. Oh, I missed a big one on Chris and Roger. I'm trying to read while doing the video. They have something else in common. And it's that pretty little pink license plate frame that they have on the backside. So not only have they not won, well, I guess they have won something. They each won the license plate this past year. All right, we're getting a little worse now, getting a little bit more scathing here. Up next, we have Justin, Oakland Chaos or Organized Chaos in D1, and Jason. He is the Atlanta Alpha Dogs. Jason Ferguson, Atlanta Alpha Dogs in D2. You guys each had one good year. Long time ago. I mean, last year seems like forever in D2. You both like to make splashes in the trade market, especially recently. But in my humble estimation, my humble opinion, I think the trades that you guys have made have sucked. They've made your team worse. They've set your teams back. Both of you have a lot of work in front of you if you want to be competitive anytime soon. Up next, Brian from D1, Brian Barat, the Pit Pulsating Rhino Nuts, and Mike Samuels in D2. He's the Pink Gorillas, I think he is now. Basically, I'm calling you guys fantasy Republicans. And I think most of us are probably Republicans, so you might think that that's a good thing. But you guys are very, very conservative. And in fact, the reason why I'm giving you this is because you guys bitch and whine about changing rules more often than everyone else put together. So you guys are the mindset, well, if it's not broke, then don't fix it. I don't know why we have to change rules, just change rules. It's an evolving league, and both of them. And Brian has come around a little bit. He has offered up some good suggestions on rule changes, but yeah, that's my opinion on you two. Last three. Talk about Jason Ferguson's D2 team. Let's talk about his D1 team. His doppelganger is Lori, Derek Newberta. So the San Francisco Fear Boners, and I love Mike Ditka. After years of utter incompetence, Ferguson hasn't made the playoffs since 2009. Never won a playoff game. Derek Newberta's coming off of back-to-back 2-win seasons. Years of utter incompetence. Neither one of you guys have done anything in a really, really long time. But I'm saying that it might flip in 2015. I think Newberta's going to fight with Jared for the 6th playoff spot in D2. And I think that Ferguson is pretty much a lock to make the playoffs in D1 as long as he doesn't tinker with his team like he's done in D2. The penultimate one, Ivan Kablashev, or whatever the frick his name is, our token German. In D1, he changes his name every week. I call him the Frankenmuth Germans. It's just easier. And then Derek Lehman got himself a nice new hot logo recently. The Bahrainian Red Wings. I think I'm saying that correctly. No stars, no great contracts, no real even above average players. So not a ton of talent on their team. The nice thing, they don't have any terrible contracts. And they both have some nice draft picks. So that's about the nicest thing I can say about either one of those teams. If their draft picks pan out, they could be a force to reckon with. I don't think so. I think they're going to lose to me. Oh, yeah, that's their other thing. They get to lose to me for the next 5 years in each league, respectively. And then finally, if you're still watching, you know if your name hasn't been said yet, Matt Bork in D1, the Pontiac Pit Stop, and Derek Mostrom in D2. Yeah, both of your teams are completely void of any talent whatsoever. I'm going to say it. Maybe the Dynasty League isn't the best option for you guys. Think more future term than current situation. I don't know. Maybe Derek did do that with his trade with Durs. I can't fault him for that, but a lot of work for you guys to do. Wow, 13 minutes. I did not plan on this taking that long. That means more than 1 minute per team. So I'm going to wrap this up. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm guessing that the 4 teams that are in both leagues are the only ones that will really care about it. But yeah, I enjoyed putting it together with the help of those guys. Hurricanes, #StinkTrain, out.